DACO Worldwide Transport. DACO Worldwide Transport is dedicated to the international transportation of heavy and oversized industrial cargo to and from any point in the planet, whether by air, ocean or land. We provide every service, from logistics and supervision of customs dispatch, loading and unloading, to the placement of heavy parts, even in extremely remote sites. DACO is represented around the globe by a network of partners and agents that for more than 40 years have answered efficiently to the needs of our clients. We have placed industrial equipment in the right place at the right time and under the right conditions, contributing to the profitability, security and environmental responsibility of the projects. Our commitment with continuous improvement has permitted the successful development of projects linked to power generation, power distribution, wind generators, cement and steel factories, refineries, petrochemical plants, breweries and other food processing plants, all with severe logistics, packing and transportation requirements. One of our most ambitious projects was carried out recently in Costa Rica, in collaboration with our sister companies DACO Heavy Lift S.A. Guatemala and DACO Trans de Centroamérica S.A. San Jose, Costa Rica. The goal was to provide all logistics services connected with the construction of a greenfield diesel power plant from various supplying countries worldwide, including the heart of the plant, consisting of 11 stationary diesel engines with a weight of 320 tons each. This project was to become one of the largest new power generating plants in Central America. The success of a project demands a thorough investigation of the effects of two critical factors: the topography of the areas that the vehicles will travel carrying the heavy engines and the weather conditions in the country. The biggest challenge is the transportation of the heavy engines from the Costa Rican port Puerto Caldera to the construction site at Garabito, approximately 35 kilometers from the port. Investigations made by the heavy transport specialists make clear that two main bridges on this way could not carry the total weight of engine plus truck and trailer with almost 500 tons, and it was quickly found out that the Ministry of Transport would not allow these transports to use the famous Carretera Panamericana for reasons of heavy traffic, several weak bridges and environmental reasons. After thorough investigations, negotiations with several Costa Rican authorities, investigations with the Costa Rican Hydrographic Institute, as well as with the mayors of towns of the area, it was finally decided to use an overland route which involved the construction of a temporary path on the dam of the abandoned railway Caldera Punta Arenas to avoid the first big bridge, and to build another bypass to avoid the main road bridge over the Rio Barranca by constructing a ford through the river. After obtaining the permit from the environmental authorities in Costa Rica, this ford was constructed as a kind of concrete path through the riverbed whilst the flow of the water was temporarily deviated during the construction phase. Planning and anticipation capabilities are some of the strengths of the staff at DACO World that guarantee the successful development of high technological level projects. Throughout the route, the logistics are put to the test with all sorts of hurdles, from repositioning traffic signs along the road and the elimination of obstacles such as electric, telephone, TV cables, etc. All this was coordinated with the Ministry of Transportation, the Ministry of Electricity and the Instituto Costarricense de Electricidad to finally allow the safe passage of the slow convoy without affecting regular traffic too much. Since it was not allowed to do the transport on the Carretera Panamericana, the convoy had to pass through a privately owned sugarcane plantation, which made it necessary to build an all-weather road of about 9.5 kilometers, as well as temporary bridges to overpass small rivers and creeks. The road had to be built in such a way to give a stable underground for the 18-axle lines of the trailer, with a total of 144 wheels carrying the gigantic engines. After 3 days, we reached the construction site and the foundations especially conditioned for the installation of the engines. One crew started immediately with the positioning of engine number 1 on the foundation by using a hydraulically operated jacking and sliding system. The second crew loaded engine number 2 to bring it to the construction site. This worked well up to the delivery of engine number 6. Unfortunately, due to the La Niña phenomenon on the Pacific Ocean, the west coast of Central America, including Costa Rica, suffered as of April-May the heaviest rainfalls and floods since 1953. This extreme weather situation caused heavy damages, landslides, overflows of rivers, bridges washed away, etc. Since the project was under time pressure and the climatic situation became more severe day by day, it was finally decided to transport the remaining 5 engines from the beach of Caldera by a special landing craft, with ramps able to support these extreme weights to a landing place from where the on-carriage to the construction site was possible. Fortunately, Dacotrans Costa Rica could obtain the special permits from the Environmental Institute very quickly. The works begin at the beach with a construction of a 124-meter ramp with a 10-meter base and a 6.7-meter width. For this purpose, 38,000 cubic feet of rock are laid and covered with a 40-centimeter thick layer of well-compacted fine gravel. Track machinery is used to keep the landing craft in place, since environmental regulations prohibits the construction of concrete moors on the beach. The ramp had to be built partly into the sea to a water depth which could be reached by the landing craft during high water. At the point of discharge in the estuary behind the peninsula of Punta Arenas, another ramp had to be built about 25 meters long, which included a partial refill into the ocean to reach the depth required for the landing craft to dock. This roll-off ramp was rather near to the entry into the sugarcane factory, so that only a short way had to be gravelled on official roads. Built in a record time, the ramp can now receive the landing craft and the transports can move the engines through the land route initially prepared and through the extensive sugarcane plantations. Due to environmental regulations, all constructions built on the beach had to be removed when the work was completed. That is why when the last engine had to be replaced, Plan C was immediately started. This process required the shifting of the cargo from the beluga, a vessel with special cranes, to the landing craft, boats normally used to convey a landing force. All this was carried out at sea and without any hitches. Finally, it was possible to finish the job in spite of the adverse climatic conditions, the heavy rains, landslides, overflown rivers, damaged bridges, etc. The Garabito power station could produce electric current within the time frame set by the project owner. Daco Worldwide Transport.